In this lesson, we're going to review applying the order of operations. All right, example 1, how do I apply the order of operations? Remember, the order of operations are the rules that state the sequence in which multiple operations in an expression should be simplified. And so we use the PEMDAS, the Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally, to remember this order. The P represents the parentheses. The E will represent the exponents. The M is for the multiply. The D is for divide. And it's important for you to remember that we do these in order from left to right. So from left to right, whichever comes first. If divide comes before multiply, you're going to divide. And so for A, we have add, and S, we have subtract. And here we have the same, so we're going to do this from left to right as well. Whichever one comes first, the add or subtract, that's what you're going to do from left to right. All right, so let's take a look at the problem we have here. We have 6 times 4 in parentheses divided by 3 minus 6 plus 2 to the third power. All right, so we're going to take a look at the parentheses first. So let's simplify what's in the parentheses before we do anything else. So we're going to take this 6 times 4 and we're going to have 24. So I'm just going to rewrite what I have left in my problem. I have 24 divided by 3 minus 6 plus 2 to the third power. All right, so now we're going to simplify our exponents. So let's go ahead and we're going to simplify this right here. Well, 2 to the third means 2 times 2 times 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So we're going to have 8 right here. And again, let's just rewrite here, 24 divided by 3 minus 6 plus. All right, our next thing that we have to do is we have to then multiply or divide. Well, I don't have any multiplication, but I do have division. So I'm going to take these, and I'm going to take 24 divided by 3, and that gives me 8. Now minus 6 plus 8. Now I need to simplify the add and subtract. And notice that the subtract comes before the add, and that's okay. You just need to now do this from left to right. So I'm going to take 8 minus 6, and I'll get 2, and then I have plus 8, and then we'll do our final step, and 2 plus 8 then is equal to 10. Simplify the expression. Number 1, negative 8 divided by 4 times negative 6. So let's take a look here. Now notice we do have a parentheses, but that parentheses is just keeping that time sign separated from that negative sign with the 6. And so, and it's not grouping together any numbers. So we don't have any parentheses, so we don't have any exponents. Now we need to move on to the multiply and divide. And I have both in this expression. And so let's go ahead, and because we have both in this expression, remember these we're going to do from left to right. So we're going to take negative 8 divided by 4, and we're going to get negative 2. And then we're going to multiply that by negative 6. And so negative 2 times negative 6, 2 negatives make a positive, so we're going to then have positive 12. All right, number 2. We have 40 minus 8 minus negative 3. All right, so we don't have any parentheses that are grouping together numbers. And we also don't have any exponents, and we also don't have any multiply or divide. So now we have to do this add and subtract from left to right. So I'm first going to take 40 minus 8. Well, 40 minus 8 is 32. Now I have minus a negative 3. And remember that 2 negatives make a positive, so we're going to end up adding those. We add the opposite. So now we have 32 plus 3, and that's going to give us then 35. All right, number 3, we have negative 3 plus 5 times negative 6 minus 4. All right, so here we do have a parentheses. It has an expression in it. So let's start there. So we'll take this negative 6 minus 4. Well, remember I'm 6 in the hole. I go another 4 in the hole, so that's going to be a negative 10. All right, so I'm just going to rewrite and clean up my problem. All right, so, and we don't have any exponents. but we do have multiplication. Remember, we're going to look at these, so I'm going to multiply these two together. I'll get negative 50, and then I have negative 3 plus negative 50. And so that's going to give me negative 53. All right, number 4, we have 5 plus 9 divided by 3 plus 6 times 4. So again, there's no parentheses, there's no exponents, but we do have this multiplication and division. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to kind of circle these right here. All right, so we're going to start there. I'm going to have 5 plus and 9 divided by 3 is 3, and my plus, and then 6 times 4 is 24. All right, so we've done those. So now all I have left is to add them. So 5 plus 3 is 8 plus 24, and that's going to be equal to then 32. All right, number 5, we have negative 2 plus 8 divided by 4 minus negative 5. All right, so we don't have any parentheses that are grouping, and we don't have any exponents. So now let's go to this multiplication and division. So I'm going to start right here. So I'm going to have negative 2 plus 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now I'll have these two negatives, click, click, or plus, add the opposite. So plus 5, and again, now I'm left with all of this addition. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0, and 0 plus 5 is equal to then 5. All right, number 6, we have 5 plus negative 20 divided by 5 plus 4 times 2 to the second power. So no grouping symbols. Now we do have an exponent here, and so 2 to the second power means 2 times 2, which is going to give us 4. So I'm just going to rewrite everything here. All right, so now we've got our exponents. Now we have to look at the multiplication and division. So let's look at this right here and right here. All right, so we have 5, and now I have plus, but we're going to get a negative number, so I could have plus and negative. We could do that, or I could just have minus, because negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4. And then I'm going to have plus. Now 4 times 4 is 16. And so now let's just go from left to right. I'm going to take 5 minus 4, and I'm going to plus the 16. And I will have then a total of 17. All right, number 7, we have negative 15 divided by 3 plus 9 minus 4 to the second power. Now this is really important because a lot of people make mistakes on ones like this. So let's start with our parentheses. We have to evaluate everything inside this parentheses first, because that 2 does not belong, the exponent of the 2 does not belong to that negative 4. So we're just going to take 9 minus 4 first, and I'm going to get 5, and I'm going to put this back on. All right, so we're done with our parentheses. Now let's evaluate our exponent. So 5 to the second power is 5 times 5, which is 25. All right, so our exponents are done. Now we're going to look at the multiplication and division, and we have divide right here. So negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. Now plus 25, and negative 5 plus 25 is just, it's going to give me 20. All right, number 9, we have negative 4 times negative 3 plus 4, in parentheses, plus 2 times negative 5 minus 5 in parentheses. All right, so let's take a look here. We need to start with these parentheses. So let's start right here, and negative 3 plus 4 is going to give us 1. And so I'm just going to rewrite this as a times plus 2. Now, negative 5 minus 5. Don't get mixed up. That's not 0. It's negative 5, and you're going another negative 5. So that's going to be a negative 10. All right, so our parentheses are done, and we don't have any exponents. So now let's do our multiplication here. So we've got negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And then 2 times negative 10 gives us a negative 20. All right, so 4 plus negative 20 will give us a negative 24. So in this lesson, we took a look at how to simplify expressions using the order of operations without a calculator.